Well, hello, friends. Welcome into the Sandbox. I am Tammy J. Bond, your host of the Leadership Sandbox podcast, and excited to have you joining me today. Today, we're going to be diving into a fun little topic in 7 minutes or less in the Leadership Sandbox. This is one of our 7-minute strategies episodes, and we're talking all about your relationship between ambition and well-being for a new year. As we close out 2024 and we head into 2025, and this actually works as you close out months as well. But we're just going to focus on the year right now as we get ready to see the ball drop or hear the bell ring. And I want to know, I want to understand with you. I want to help you understand there is a difference between ambition and well-being, and how are you navigating it for this new year? Because ambition without well-being is like your automobile or a high performance automobile without high performance fuel, right? Or with no gas at all. The automobile might look great parked in the parking lot, right? But it's not getting you anywhere because it can't, because it doesn't have the right fuel in it. And as we step into the new year, I want to explore with you how to fuel your ambition while prioritizing your well-being. And if you've been listening this month, I've really been focusing in on starting with last month about being in gratitude and about exploring your own self-awareness and your own emotions. And this is no different. Ambition is the spark and well-being is the fuel. And you can't sustain one without the other. So as we get ready to turn the page on 2024 and step into 2025, in the Leadership Sandbox, we're talking all about the difference between your well-being and ambition and how you balance them. So let's dive in. I want you to think about the successes that you've had this year in 2024. If you were to take a list, write a list of paper, write down the success on a personal level for 2024. I want you to look at how much ambition had to do with that, how much just sort of tripping upon those successes had to do with it. Was it right place, right time? What was it? And how do you define what success looks like going into 2025? Define your ambition with metrics that include things like your mental well-being, emotional, physical, spiritual. How's your physical health? How's your spiritual health? What are you doing to find balance between all of them? Because listen, balance is really built in every decision that we make and every step that we take. Now, you can use a really simple formula for getting that definition of that with the metrics of clarity, commitment, and care, right? Those are kind of the 3 C's of ambition: clarity, commitment, care. How do we achieve clarity? Right? What's the commitment? Do I need commitment from just me, or is it from also others? And then what's the care that we're going to all put into it so that we can really start to define what success for the new year looks like as we celebrate the success we've had from this year, right? We're stepping forward into something new. We want to define that. It's our GPS system. And it's important that we do that. We define what that success looks like going forward. And I love to ask it this way: how do you know you got it when you got it? And yes, it's important to have metrics to tie to that, but it's also about a sense of well-being and purpose. How do I want to feel this time next year? How do I want to feel? Or in 6 months from now, what do I want to see different? Or in 3 months, how do I want to feel? Or what will look different in my life? This year in 2024, my husband and I went on a pretty incredible health journey to get ourselves healthy, to shed unwanted weight that we had been carrying. And through a lot of choices. One, I love to cook. I also love to bake. What I recognized is I don't need to do that every day and also consume it in that way. But there's also a lot about our mental well-being, our stress levels. As I've shared before on the show, we have a daughter who has mental illness. And there's been changes that have happened on that front that have helped my husband and I, to lower our stress levels. It's been hard, but I know that lowering of the stress level, we're working with a functional medical doctor. We're working with practitioners that are helping us on this journey to getting healthier through counseling, through exercise, through diet and through being intentional about what we consume and what we say yes to and what we say no to. That consumption comes in all forms, not just consuming a food. But as a result, and as I look back, I started this year with what success would look like at this point, and I've actually exceeded that. So I had a goal that I wanted to lose 50 pounds. I'll say it. And actually, I've lost 68 pounds, and I've got about 11 more I'd like to get off. But right now, I'm thrilled. I actually exceeded my goal, but it's taken a lot of intentionality and support from others to make that a reality. And now, as we go into the new year, it's what are you going to do with that? What are the challenges that I'm giving myself to maintain? But also, what are the opportunities that are created now because I've gotten healthier and I've gotten a better balance in my own life, physically, emotionally, as well as even spiritually. And I've had a long faith walk for a long time. I have been a believer in Jesus Christ for a long time, for many, 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 many years since I was a small child. And I am grateful for that relationship that I have there. But I also have increased my level there in that walk as well, because I recognized where I was a little deficient in some of what I was committed in giving to through that relationship walk, as well as the relationship walk with my spouse. And so as we have navigated some big changes in our family, and we've navigated some health changes, all for the positive, we're feeling a lot better. And as I'm looking at what I want to see created for the new year, it's a whole different landscape that we're looking at. But it's important for me to take stock of it, right? And that's what I want you to do. Take stock and set your goal in place. You never know, you might just exceed it like we did. When you set it and you write it down, you make it plain, and you make decisions every day to move toward that. That's a boundary that we set, which is really tip number 2, which is set boundaries for your well-being. And we did that because ambition, and I am a highly ambitious person, but it can turn toxic without boundaries. Saying no to burnout, saying no to disruption, saying no to chaos by prioritizing rest, by prioritizing personal time with my spouse, with friends, with my study time, and things that keep me grounded have been absolutely key in my well-being this year. And we will be continuing those going into the new year. And as I'm thinking about my word for the new year, because I always pick a word for the new year. And this year it was all about preparation. And I can see where preparation has really come to pass. Preparation for something exciting. And we needed to prepare. My husband has lost 50 pounds. I've lost 68 pounds. We've got this preparation piece that's happened for the what's next. And I'm so excited about that, because my next year's word, I'll reveal it to you at the first of the year. I haven't yet completely landed on it, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to I understand the power of having a word for the year, because it helps me to set boundaries and set my focus, because setting boundaries is for my well-being, and I'm clear on that, right? I schedule the non-negotiable things into my everyday so that they don't get overrun by other people. Because golly, I sure know if I don't have those, or when I don't have those non-negotiables scheduled in every single day, that's where my boundaries get to be foggy, and other things get put in place when it's not. And then I start feeling less than, or broke, busted, and disgusted. And I realize, oh, wait, well, when was the last time you did your sauna? Because I have an infrared sauna blanket that I love and highly recommend those going on your list for the new year. Every night I love to do that. And even, the family's all like, so are you going to go in and sauna? Yes, I am. Or no, not tonight, because and I have a different self-care thing that I'll put in place. But schedule those non-negotiables and make it so that your family, your friends, your colleagues even know that time is non-negotiable, and you're not going to trounce on it, because I'm going to set that boundary, because my boundaries are for my well-being. Number 3, I want you to think about what I've been calling micro wins. Big goals sometimes can overwhelm us. They can also cause us to go into procrastination. But micro wins build momentum. Celebrating the small things, right? Celebrate the small things, the small victories. Those are those stepping stones that build into the bigger milestones. And I want you to start each week of when you have your big goals out there, write down what are the small things that we're going to celebrate along the way, and get ready to celebrate those, because what's important about that, I'm setting my intention that there are going to be action items I'm going to be able to celebrate, because that creates, I can have that ambition, right? That focus, which is important. And I know that when I get focused on that and I achieve that, it just sets up for the next one and the next goal and the next goal. And fourth and final, I want you to check in. I want you to check in with self, not check out. I want you to have somebody that you check in with on a monthly basis. Maybe it's a quarterly basis. Maybe you need it on a weekly basis. Check in with self and ask yourself, how am I doing? Is my ambition aligned, or are my ambitions aligned to what I value? Are they aligned to my boundaries? Are they aligned to my self-care? Because without those things, whatever you set as your goal, it's going to be so much harder to achieve it. It's a pivot point for you to look at self first so that you can take care of everything else before you that you have. And I want you to think about this way. When we let our ambition write the checks for us, that's where we actually crash, because you can't cash in what you don't have. So it's okay to have ambition set the goal of the focus, but that well-being, self-care component is really what you're going to exponentially grow in, and it's going to create profit margins like you've never seen before. So remember this, friend, your ambition doesn't need to dim your well-being. It can light the path forward for you. And I want you to make this new year of 2025 the year where you lead yourself well. Just as well as others might say you as a leader lead them, I want you to lead yourself impeccably well, just as well as you lead others. Because I'm pretty sure if I were to go and ask people in your life how you do as leaders, they're going to say, you're great. You're so giving. You're so generous. Are you being just as giving and generous to yourself as you are to others? I wonder if you were to write that out, what that would look like for your New Year goal. How do I give just as much to myself as I do to others every day? Thanks for joining me in the sandbox today. I want you to know that you are whole, capable, creative, and resourceful to get, achieve, attain everything that it is that you want. And that success is defined by you with every decision and every choice that you make. And your relationship between ambition and well-being for this new year can be transformed by the micro steps that you take and the celebrations that you make and the commitments that you make to self and the non-negotiables that you put in place for your own well-being. Thank you for joining me in the sandbox today. Make it a great day and Happy New Year. God bless.